Hi, so this is more of a bug report, but then also just some public musings on the state of Gatsby themes. I'm pretty excited about Gatsby themes. I'm going to assume that you know about them because I just don't have time to explain here. I have a project with two Gatsby themes. The idea is that you can, the whole thing about Gatsby themes is that hopefully in future you'll be able to remix themes sort of interchangeably. I think the vision is still far ahead of the reality. Um, and I've always had some concerns with regards to how they compose. Well, I guess everyone has concerns. My preferred strategy is to limit what Gatsby themes can do, whereas the Gatsby team strategy has been to evolve community best practices and norms. Um, I do think that the team should probably set an example. So these are two themes which ship with Gatsby by default. You can see them here in the themes folder. Confusingly enough, each of these have a starter and then a non-starter thing. I have no idea what the difference is, but they're all updated together, so whatever. So Gatsby theme blog and Gatsby theme notes. I've set up, again, this is hard, this information about the implicit dependencies and what folders you're supposed to have before it starts working is hard to find, but I've set it up. And so the problem comes when having two themes together. Okay, so what I have here is I only have Gatsby theme blog installed, right? Gatsby theme notes is, for all intents and purposes, is just a folder. Doesn't mean anything. I've also commented out this part. So it only uses Gatsby theme blog. So now when I run yarn start, I should probably just have shown you. When I run yarn start, you see this. You see what you expect to see with Gatsby theme blog. Just launched it. Okay. So yeah, black title, nice font, and I can navigate here. Very nice. So the vision for Gatsby theme is that I will be able to install a separate theme and have it essentially just work. Obviously, nothing is that simple, but let's just see what the user experience looks like. So I have Gatsby theme notes installed. That's the only thing that I've done. I still haven't required it inside the plugin, right? So by all intents and purposes, the only thing that's changed is the package JSON now has Gatsby theme notes. Now if I run yarn start again, this should not affect it. This should mean that I should get everything exactly the same. Unfortunately, that's not true because here I start to get like a weird error, even though I have exactly the same code base and I just have added a dependency. That means there's a secret path to scanning package JSON and doing themes, and it doesn't just respect the Gatsby config. That is a problem, and that should be fixed because magic is bad. Let's also look at what it looks like. Oh, it just doesn't work. All right. Well, okay. So there's nothing I can do about that. I'm just gonna kill it, and then I'm just gonna uncomment this, and the rough setup I anticipate because basically both of these have a base path. So obviously only one can have control of the root path. I've set up the base path for Gatsby theme notes to be on the Gatsby theme notes side, and then the base path and Gatsby theme blog controls the root. So now I'm going to do that, and so this failure basically happens because Gatsby goes through each theme and processes all the GraphQL queries, regardless of whether it's actually inside of Gatsby config or not. So that needs to be fixed. Anyway, so now that I actually have the config right, I can run it and start again. And this random thing pops up for no reason, but let's look past that. What I really want to point you to, once this thing is done, okay, is remember how this looked? Well, remember how the old blog looked, and now I'm going to open up again. So the old blog, right, this blog, should continue to rule the root node, the root path, and then Gatsby theme nodes, just adding it in shouldn't affect it, but it obviously has. The font has changed. This is me diving in. I haven't. I just spotted this and I started to make this rant because it's just really pissed me off. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's still a massive improvement over what we have, but I just, it could be better, right? So all I'm doing is just being open, recording things, sharing it with the team, just generally trying to be a good citizen. So someone's overwritten my font family. I have no idea why. This doesn't work anymore because of system UI, I guess. Um, so yeah, I mean, well, let's also check out the sub path at which I expect Gatsby theme nodes to work. I think this probably does work. Right, so I don't have an index, but I have hi to. So where I set up the Gatsby theme nodes content is I have hi to, hello, example dir, and hi. So let's go to example dir hi. All right. So this is very clearly system UI. It's very distinctive of Brent Jackson style. But what it shouldn't do is mess with my root. And this is obviously taken screwed with my font as well. So obviously some level of overlapping is probably hard to avoid, but I would like to keep it as small as possible, and especially shouldn't break JavaScript functionality, right? So something's messed up there. Okay, so one thing I wanted to also show is how, I mean, that's the extent of my bug report. I think that anything default theme should have all these things worked out. Obviously, it's still early days. One thing that I would also want to show newbies, so this is not so much for the core team to look at, is just for how I would think about like debugging this. Essentially, there's nothing in userland that you can do to fix this. Well, you're basically fucked. You just have to fork one of these guys and then go fix the problem yourself. And so the way I would do that is to go into node modules. Let's look at Gatsby theme notes. Okay. Gatsby theme notes. There we go. And then Gatsby config. This should all be fine. I really don't see, unless Gatsby plugin theme UI has some sort of global assumption that's really bad, but that's also easy to fix. What I'm concerned about is Gatsby node. It's got the on pre-bootstrap create pages source node. All of these seem fine. Basically, I'm trying to think through, like, if I were to have to fork this and fix it, what would I do? I want to trace the source of where the conflict comes in. I don't think I can see any particular source, so it's really probably Gatsby plugin theme UI that is doing the double inheritance and then not respecting the context change. So, for example, Gatsby theme blog also depends on Gatsby plugin theme UI, and then this little guy. So this little guy here doesn't do the merge. So essentially, you'd have to also make this respect the merge, and that's one thing. And then the last thing that maybe I want to try is, like, what if I switch the order? When I did stuff with Gatsby a long time ago, I remember hearing that the order shouldn't matter. I think that's a lie. So let's kill it and restart. So only thing I've done is change the order around. So Gatsby theme notes come before Gatsby theme blog. I don't think that makes a difference, but let's see. And then we'll end this video. Much better. So order magically matters. I can't really think about whether that makes sense or not. Um, but good. So that's how I think about it. Like basically, the reason that order matters is um, we put Gatsby theme notes first. This one is the one without the sense of content. This is the one. This is the bad actor. Right? This is the one that's not passing through my existing theme combination. And then Gatsby theme blog is the one that does care about the existing theme that's been selected, as including typography. So this needs to be updated a little bit. Basically, we just need to pay attention to this as well as to the other themes that have been published as default themes, and just in general, like have some good default community standards so that everyone plays together nicely, or we'll just have a lot of shit code that cannot be reused together. Yep, that's it. Thank you very much.